Yo, what is up? So, I've literally spent the whole week on Linux, not Windows. I've just been trying to learn as much as I can, and yeah, I've been enjoying it. There have been some frustrations because it's just learning. It's like literally learning Windows all over again if you've never used Windows. It's been more that the first few days I was like getting annoyed with just literally the SSDs. I had the portable ones. They were so damn slow. And to be fair, they're like 7 years, over 7 years old or something. But I did actually invest in a new SSD. It's a SanDisk, and my God, is it so much better? It's like night and day difference. So that's improved, and then just other things like just trying to figure out. I mean, I've been trying to get FSR 4. I've literally got into the game. I didn't have a problem doing that. I actually used Optiscaler, so that does actually work on Linux. Optiscaler. The trouble with that is because FSR 4 is not officially supported by AMD yet. I think you're not getting performance gains with it, so you would literally get a worse performance than you would on Windows when you use Optiscaler, because what Optiscaler does, it translates the performance like literally what you get on Windows but on Linux, because it's broken, it's not working how it should. So that is the issue there. So I'm limited to games, like you literally have to, because there is only one fix at the moment to like the FP8 fix hack, and you can only use that on Steam by the looks of it, because I've tried it in GOG, it don't work. The GOG launcher on here, I've tried it in the Heroic launcher, and that didn't work. So yeah, I literally think, I mean, I've asked some people on Linux, they didn't seem to have any answers. It looks to me that is the issue at the moment, that you can't get FSR 4 with the full performance gains unless you got it on Steam in games. So you literally would have to have it on Steam to use the FP8 hack, because I can apply it in Cyberpunk, because I've got a lot of games on Ubisoft and all that. So if I install the Ubisoft launcher on here, I could apply FSR 4 no problem. I know how to do that, but there is no like command box or whatever, because they would be different, or it doesn't seem to. I mean, I looked in GOG, it doesn't seem to be an option in there either. So I did. Lutris basically installs these apps, and you have got some command lines in there, but it didn't seem to work either on that. So it just seems to be banging my head against the wall, to be honest, trying to get other apps to make FSR 4 work with the full performance you should be getting, because there's literally pointless me using it. I mean, for Linux users, I think it's pointless unless you got a game on Steam, because you're literally losing performance. So that's pretty much my thoughts on that. I might actually, we could load up Exhibition 33, because I did get to work on that. So we'll start up, got my hub up. I don't mind this Mango HUD, that's pretty good. It's similar to MSI Afterburner. So there's definitely things I like about Linux. I like how customizable it is. It's more customizable than Windows, but then there is quite a few issues with it. So I obviously need to use it more, Linux, because it's impossible to learn everything about it within a couple of weeks. I'm glad I've done it, but it's just little issues. Does that sound? So that. Yeah, it's definitely a eye opener. Oh, so in this one I've got Optiscaler. So I did the commands. I've done that FP8 hack, so I get the full performance. And this is what you can't do in these other apps. So that is an issue. So I'm getting the correct performance, and it looks pretty similar to Windows to me with the performance on here. I don't know why that 99% is. I think that's for some reason I'll have to change that, because it's not like that's a bad thing. 99%, and I'm getting full usage out of my 9070 XT. But yeah, I mean, I think it's slight. It might be slight. Yeah, it might be slightly worse than Windows performance. I mean, I've got it on. We got on quality. So I'd say it's not as good as Windows performance when I'm comparing it. But it's not far off. I mean, I think once AMD officially get FSR 4 supported on Vulkan, it would be a lot better. So yeah, I mean, I know how to do it in all the games, but it's just literally this FP8 hack. You can't get that in other launchers by the looks of it, because I've tried everything. We get rid of that. Let's load this up. And the thing is, what I've installed my Linux OS on is still on one of the slower drives, so we'll have to replace that as well eventually. But it's doing the job, to be fair. But I'll definitely, the priority was to get one for downloading games, because that was ridiculous how long that was taking. My god, it was slow. But yeah, I'm looking here. I mean, I've been going config. So you got all these. I mean, I tried it in there, didn't work. I put the Proton, because that's a Proton that literally supports the commands I've been using. So I've tried it in there, didn't work. I tried it in all the logical places, so I put it in there. I thought, so nothing seems to be working to get that FP8 hack. So I think I'm probably looking for a solution that don't exist. So I think the people that are doing it, the creators of the Protons and all that, they might come up with a fix for other apps, I don't know, but I do really think AMD probably need to get their finger out and get it working on Vulkan. Then you would just literally copy this driver file, this file here, because what that does, that activates the FSR 4 on Vulkan. Say the latest version is 4.0.1. So you would paste that into each game file, System32, and that actually activates it offhand. So without that file, it won't even come up, even with Optiscaler. It would just be FSR 3.1.3 if you didn't have this file, I've noticed. But as soon as you put that in, it activates FSR 4, the option, in the Optiscaler menu. So I think that's probably because Optiscaler, you can literally put it in every game on Linux as well. But if that file isn't fully supporting Vulkan drivers and all that, because you update the drivers on here on Linux, so I think that is the root cause of the problem. That will need to be updated from AMD's end. Otherwise, you're going to have to rely on commands to, if someone can come up with a command for all these other apps, but it's difficult. So at the moment it is just Steam. You're limited to Steam using these FP8 hacks. So, and even such same with 7000 series, because you got to use an RDNA 3 workaround. I mean, if you didn't know, I'll open this up, and that's a bit small. Is it Control plus plus? Yeah. So those are the command. That is for the 7000 series. So this only works for Steam, so you would paste that in the general options in Steam, and that's for the 9000 series. This top one. So you would just literally go in there and apply it. That's what you would do. As you can see, I've put it in there. Without that hack, you wouldn't get the full performance. You would get a much worse performance just doing the FSR 4 upgrade command percent. Anyway, that's where I'm at with it. So, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Yo, what is up? So, another video on Linux. I've spent most of my free time trying to figure things out, and I have, to be fair, I've figured out a lot of stuff, but yeah, I mean, it does take time. Thing is, if you're new to Linux, you will literally, you'd probably have to spend about 6 months to work out majority of things you need to know, but I think within the short time I've been using it, I've literally done really well to figure out so much for gaming anyway. Like, I'd say I've pretty much figured everything out I need to know for what I want to do on Linux, to be honest. So I have managed to get FSR into more games, but there is it's literally beyond because the problem is a lot of games, even if you're getting it to work, they just don't look great because it's literally all falls down to AMD. There's no sort of compatibility yet for FSR 4 to work well on Vulkan. If you can get it to work, there's still going to be issues with it, and for me, I do like Linux, so I'm not going to hate on it. There is things I like about it, but then there is also lots of frustration with certain things. Like, sometimes you would install an app and it won't work properly, so you got to reinstall it, stuff like that. Yeah, you can get that on Windows, but I find it a lot more problematic. I mean, even in games they can sort of run a bit laggy. You get issues in games with your controller turning off, stuff like that. There is definitely more, I'd say it's just more unstable compared to Windows, and there's just a lot of things where you do find yourself wasting more time than you want to waste compared to Windows. So it sort of makes me appreciate Windows more, to be honest. Again, I'm not going to pay on Linux because I've had a interesting time. Just, it's not like I'm going to stop using it. I will keep an eye on it. I'll probably still do content on it. But I sort of started using it at first to think, well, is it like OS could I literally just leave Windows and go into Linux? After exploring it a lot more now, I'd have to say I'd have to just sort of keep an eye on it, and just keep it in mind. I wouldn't trust it to probably satisfy my needs for gaming. I don't think I could totally enjoy gaming on Linux, unfortunately, at this point. Maybe in the future, but you see, I want it to get better, but it's just not quite good enough for me at the moment. Although there is things I like about it, but there is features I would miss. I mean, if you're talking about FSR 4, I feel the support on Windows is a lot better. There's better support for ultra wide, HDR, and as I said, OptiScale. I think that is a really good tool, but I am finding that to be working better on Windows as well, because you're literally getting the full performance as soon as you apply FSR 4. You are getting the full performance with that, but on Linux you're not. So that is down to AMD, but then again, Nvidia drivers are even worse on Linux, believe me. So didn't take me long to figure that out. There's a lot more support on Windows for games than there is on Linux, because a lot of the time you're relying on sort of modders and people on GIT Hub to like find workarounds to say get FSR 4 into a certain game you want to play. You're relying on apps to sort of be a third party app to say Ubisoft or what's the other one, Epic Games, GOG. So I mean, a lot of the time you sort of downloading stuff. I've learned a lot of the commands and all that, but even when I'm doing it, you can run into some issues where you literally wouldn't get that issue on the Windows. So for me it's a mixed bag. I mean, there's things I like about Linux and there's things I don't like about it. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I've enjoyed, like, it's definitely been an interesting time. I've enjoyed playing about with it, and I mean, there is one thing I did manage to do that I couldn't on Windows, and that's actually get FSR 4 in Starfield. So that is one advantage. So you can, if you do like Starfield, it looks like that's gonna, because I did manage to do that. So there's some things I've actually achieved in my short time on here. So I've managed to get, like, you can get, so I've done it on that game, done it on Rebirth. So I've done it on that. Ubisoft launcher, it just didn't seem to, because you got to go through Lutris, you got to load Lutris up. That installs Ubisoft. I actually installed Mirage, and the OptiScaler menu wouldn't come up. I'm pretty sure I installed FSR 4, but the FPS went down. So I thought, what's the point? Because I mean, as I said in my previous, this is going to be a second part of another video I'm going to upload, by the way. So I'll probably obviously put that one before this, but in that video, I pretty much, most of the time I'm just installing FSR with OptiScaler as well, and I'm losing performance because of this. You can't seem to, on Vulkan Linux, you won't get the full performance once you upgrade to FSR 4 using OptiScaler, so you've got to rely on that FP8 hack. So I've been literally trying to do that in this app, the Heroic Games Launcher, and that don't seem to be working. So I've been trying to, I mean, as far as I know, I'm doing it correctly, because I'll put that in, that's the one I've been using, GE Proton, because that's been working the best for me. So you either use this one, that's the latest one, but I've been using that one a lot, and it seems to be working with this command I put in. I'll show you the commands in a second, but so I tried them. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's this one, so I tried it in there, and I'm just still losing performance when I'm loading it up. So I can get FSR 4 in the game. So it's not that I've not been able to do it, it's just the performance is not good enough for me, because I'm used to better performance on Windows, and there lies my problem. So I'm literally missing something from Windows. So I'm not just missing the performance, I'm missing the HDR, because every game I'm loading up, I'm not able to, for some reason, I guess it's not working that great, or it's not compatible, or we got, I don't know. But so I can't really get HDR in the game. So, it's literally so easy on Windows, you just click on and it's just disabled in the game for some reason, so I found that a bit weird. And again, HDR is a massive feature for me. I'm literally using it all the time in games. I love HDR. So I mean, I've enabled it on my monitor on this desktop here, but for some reason it just don't let you use it in the game. So I find that very weird. So I'm not sure. Again, it's literally more researching, and I seem to be spending more time researching than actually playing games. So I think that is the other thing with it. Again, I'm not trying to hate on it. I'm just telling people my honest opinion, because I literally know a lot of people would hate it. I don't hate it at all. It is just very different to Windows for me. I'm in the middle with it, but there is features. This is why I wouldn't leave Windows, because of the features I'm talking about, like HDR, the Adrenaline app. There's no sign of that coming to Linux. So I might as well just load up some games. I mean, Cyberpunk, I got FSR 4 in it, but there's no. I mean, you literally you lose about 20 FPS without this FP8 hack. So I might as well just show you that, because the command I've been using, I found that to be the best one. So GE Proton, that's what I've been using. Cachos, to be fair, I found that to be working pretty well also with the command. So it's the same command for Arduino A4. Anyway, the top one's Arduino A4, and this is for Arduino A3, as it says here. For some reason, that just goes really small, so I've got to press Control and Plus to get it bigger. But in Steam, anyway, you just put that in. I've tried it in other apps and it just don't seem to work. So again, it looks like you're limited to just using this on Steam games. So that's another thing I wasn't really feeling that impressed with. That I mean, it is good that, I mean, if you got a 7000 series, I suppose it's better on the Linux, because you're able to use it at least, whereas on Windows it's not available. So, but if you got 9000 series GPU, and because I've literally got it in FSR 4 running in so many games on Windows with the full performance, for me it's a bit of a, it just seems a bit pointless to literally leave Windows completely, if you know what I mean. But again, I'm not going to pay on Linux, because I've enjoyed it. There's definitely good things about it. It's probably like I literally would just keep it on one drive and flick between Linux and Windows depending on what I fancy. So it's not that I'm going to stop using it. I will carry on using it, but if I had to pick one, it would still be Windows at this point. So, oh yeah, this one I found to be very annoying, because well, it all worked, but it didn't, because she was losing performance compared to this one here. I mean, I did everything it said, but for some reason it didn't work, so I wouldn't recommend that one. So we might as well get rid of that. And again, that is the sort of thing I'm talking about. I mean, you can literally waste 1 to 2 hours trying that. They're telling you it's working in a lot of games, and then you find out it isn't. And this is why I can't really recommend Linux over Windows, even though I'm finding it to be alright, but I know a lot of people would really get angry about it if they ain't got a lot of patience. Oh yeah, this game was a pain in the ass. For some reason, FSR 4 wouldn't even come up, which don't surprise me with this game, because there is always issues with this, even on Windows. to the point where I just don't even give a fuck about that game anymore. So, I mean, Starfield, I know for a fact I did try and put FSR 4 on this on Windows and it just crashes. So I tried it on here and it actually works. So that did literally surprise me. So we'll load that up. We'll have a look at that. So although there can be graphical issues on Linux with FSR 4 once you upgrade it, I found this one to be pretty great. To be honest, it does look really nice. So it do shaders again. Again, I'm using this. I'll probably show you that after, since it's loaded up. But yeah, I did find this to be pretty impressive. So with the command I'm using, probably have to turn the sound down. Alright, so that should be alright. So I did install Optiscale to make sure it worked. So I've got it on. So on Windows it would literally crash it. But this is actually working pretty good. So there you go. That is another thing. That wasn't me moving the controller and it just went up like that. So you can get some controller bugs when you first load it up, but then it all sorts itself out. So yeah, I mean, so it does look pretty nice. And what I noticed is in the distance you can see a lot more detail. So it would be nice to get. I can definitely notice difference there. So this is one advantage Linux has got over Windows. You can actually get FSR 4 on Starfield. So it would be nice to get that on Windows. I mean, I have completed this game myself, but if anyone wanted to like not use FSR 3 and use it on Linux, it would using FSR 4 it would be good. It would be a good experience. I mean, on Rebirth, what I'm going to show you, there is a lot of graphical sort of artifacts in the background. But I'm not seeing that on there. I think it seems to work better in certain games than it does in others. And that's probably to do with the fact that AMD need to get their finger out of it and start supporting Vulkan. And I mean, surely if all the modders can do it on a GIT hub with these protons, then you'd think surely they should know how to do it. Yeah, I mean, what I did notice is it's weird when you get up here. I don't know if this happens on Windows, but the FPS goes really low here. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but yeah, I mean, I did max it all out. So you're using on this one you are using DLSS inputs, and I'm sure it just crashes on, because I did try it a couple of times trying to get it in on Windows. For some reason it works on it, so I don't know, I'm not sure why, but I mean it's definitely it's got the advantages over some things, Linux. So I'll use that command. So you need this FP8 hack for it to work. To get a full performance, then you need to use this GE Proton 10-4. So that's the one that's been pretty much compatible with most games. That's what I've found. I think the other one, Cachos, I think that's pretty good. And that seems to work been doing. I think that's the latest ones. I did try that in a few games. It seems to be pretty much identical to that. So again, there's been some games I haven't had time because it literally takes so much time. I mean, Cyberpunk I don't care about, but maybe that just don't work. Maybe that game just doesn't work because someone told me. Well, he didn't literally tell me, but I did watch a video, and he said he couldn't get it to work in Cyberpunk either. So maybe it just doesn't work, but maybe it works in The Witcher 3. I mean, not even all the Steam games work, so it could be that. I mean, so I'm pretty sure them commands I put in the Heroic Launcher were correct as well, so it could be a case that I'd have to install another game and test it on the Heroic Launcher, as they call it. So let's load this one up. So I'm using the same thing again. So I did install OptiScaler. So yeah, so installed that. Same command as the previous game. Alright. So on this one I just installed it exactly the same way as I did on Windows. So I've done it over DLSS inputs, so it would be the same way. Which surprised me because I thought it might be a bit different. Because the other thing is I've got the Flawless app actually. The Flawless ultra wide app. But I probably won't do in this video because I'll have to come back out of the game. So it's at 4K, but you will see the same stuff anyway, what I was talking about. So you will see some, when I first loaded it up, yeah, you got a lot of flickering. Yeah, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But that's what I'm talking about. It don't seem to be something going on with the shadows. I don't know. There's a lot of flickering. I think that's another thing that when I'm comparing it to Windows, there's a lot of graphical glitches with FSR 4. So I don't know. I haven't really tested out. I think it could be FSR 4. It's just not working properly on Vulkan. Linux basically, so maybe it's just not working properly and that's why you're getting all this weird shit going on in the background. So again, it's not an option for me right now. So if I'm being nice about it, it's something I'd keep in mind. But I certainly wouldn't be looking to leave Windows and go to Linux as it stands now. But it is interesting. But yeah, I think you've seen enough. It's clearly got issues when you're trying to run FSR 4 on here. So I've got it on. So yeah, I mean that is pretty much again. But again, that was that Starfield. That was a nice success story. It works well from what I've played. It works well in that, so that's good. It seems to work well enough in that. Again, once you load into that, you will get sort of artifacts, some graphical glitches when you first load in, but then it sorts itself out. And I found that with Stellar Blade as well. I think it's all took its time to load the textures in, but then it sort of loads in. Whereas on Windows, it literally loads in straight away. But I mean, you would expect Microsoft to be the best, wouldn't you? Anyway, so it's not like it's a surprise. I mean, they are generally more supported than Linux is, but I do think Linux is a great option for the more experienced sort of PC user. I'd say someone who knows what they're doing. I mean, I'm totally alright with it. I mean, I'm not gonna stop using Linux. As I said, my main issue is like things like HDR, which I really like. It's probably the features that are on Windows that I can't access on Linux. Like even FSR 4, I'm able to get that in more games on Windows than Linux with the full performance. So it's mainly stuff like that. I've pretty much learned everything I need to know of how I operate on the PC, even using Linux. I can do videos and all that. Overclock my GPU. Again, if you're on, I'm not trying to bash at Nvidia, but apparently it is terrible on the Linux for driver support. So, I mean, Nvidia are a closed source. They're exclusive. AMD have always been more compatible. They're open source, so it's easier to work with. Again, it doesn't surprise me because Jensen is more worried about his AI, data centered. He don't care about gamers. So even people on Windows are getting shafted. So I'm literally not surprised that Linux are getting shafted as well, because they couldn't be further from Nvidia's mind, to be honest, Jensen. Anyway, that is it for me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.